everything around the LGAs. There are 774 LGAs. I came across a document from one of the agencies that have refused to come. They have over 1,000 workforce, and we have 774 LGAs. I did my work around them. You don't have more than 34 LGAs working in that place out of 774. So if you subtract 34 LGAs from 774, you have 740 not concerned with what goes on there. That's not too good. It's extremely bad, unacceptable. We will still make attempts to get them here. Then after that, we'll take them to the court of the public. Let us see how Nigerians will clap for them. So I would appeal that emphasis should be, as much as possible, put around the local governments. While we are still talking, pillar on which we can build a new Nigeria, because if properly handled, it preaches fairness, equity, where everybody will feel a part of the pie. So from time to time, we go through the books to ensure that not much damage is being done to the principle of federal character. Of recent, there has been a very free fall when you look at the principle. A lot of things are being done anyhow. The rules are no longer being followed. It's not just about employing people. It's also about how you treat them in terms of seniority, promotions. If 2 persons or 10 persons were employed in 2003, one is on level 17 and one is still on 12. We will be interested to know why. Or if somebody came in 2010 and you already had people you employed in 2008, and the person that came in 2010 is on grade level 16, and those on 8 that came in 2008 are still on grade level 10, we still would want to know why, because fairness. We know that sometimes, due to performance, contributions, and what have you, some persons go faster than others. So we would like to have those reasons and evidence. We will quickly deal with you so that you can go, but we'll be reaching you because we'll keep studying your submissions. We'll continue to look at, and then we'll write you. You may not need to now come in groups. Maybe if we need MD, DG, we'll tell her we want to see you. If we need the human resource person, we call. If we need the lawyer, or if we need 3 of them, we'll call you, but we'll no longer invite you holistically this way. So, they're here.
You mentioned your name after I.
I, Omolola Oluworaro,
Swear to the Almighty God.
Swear to the Almighty God
That the evidence I shall give.
that the evidence that I shall give
Shall be the truth.
shall be the truth,
The whole truth.
the whole truth,
Nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Is a commission that Nigerians' eyes are on. When you are doing it right, Nigerians are aware. Whenever you go wrong, the whole world knows, even the international community. And And that is why you all know that all eyes are on you. From the data given to us, to some extent, I would score them averagely better in terms of trying as much as possible to see that every sector, every geopolitical zone is represented. Just as said by my colleague, that you are just coming in, and from the data I look at, it's like your last employment was in 2021, official employment, except if there are another one that we don't know. But from the books, it's like it was in 2021. And I do know that there must be a thought for review. And he has said it that if you look at states that probably do not look fairly represented, and I may not know whether it's a result of retirement too, because some might have retired along the line. But I want you, the way we look at you, the way you appear, particularly for us in establishment, Committee on Establishment, you seem, I say seem, you seem upright. I'm not saying you look upright, but I say you seem upright. I hope that you will be able to bridge up the gap. The other sector I want to ask about is, I saw in South, Rivers have 10, and you said on the topic of plus and deficit, you say it is balanced. But they have 10 people employed. I saw Cross River with 10, and you said there's -2. -2. That is to say they should change. They are -2. Then I saw Edo with 12.
I think you are looking at our own.
It's a one analysis book. Okay, it's a one document.
They didn't submit.
Oh, they didn't submit that.
But you can speak with them with the understanding of this information.
To let you know the intention of this meeting. It's not a punitive meeting. We have taken the 10th Senate to be a correctional Senate. We are ready to, as much as possible, to forget the past. But moving forward, we want something to change for better. It has become very necessary for this country to change and move in the correct direction. I've had a opportunity of meeting your office, and I saw that you are a very promising person with a lot of intellectual capacity. And that's why I was rushing. I'm about to meet you and let you know what we are thinking about. PenCom is all the agencies are very strategic. We are elected here as representative of our people. The president will not know what you are doing in your place. And every blame will go to the head of the innocent person. There will be pressure. You have to resist and make sure you do the normal thing. Those that are giving you pressure will not be here now to defend you. Do things that will make you sleep and rest. Let us follow the rules as they are laid down. We have 36 states. We have 6 zones. Be conscious of them when you are doing it, because we will not take it for granted again. Any appointment now will be properly scrutinized during and after. And if we find any non-compliance, we may cancel such appointment or recruitment, as the case may be. So we don't want to be chasing ourselves. Let us be on the same page and change the narrative so that at least the people in Nigeria can see that we mean what we are talking about. That is just the purpose. And that's why the purpose of the motion is saying that you are almost all the people that have, everybody is guilty. Because nobody is asking questions on them. We are not telling you that we will be asking questions repeatedly as situation warrant. So please, this one we have looked at, you have seen it yourself. Most of them are not your fault. You are just in the place, you met them there. We don't want to continue like that. You have to change the narrative. I mean, during your own time, lay a good precedent that other people will come and follow. Thank you, Chairman.
Been given waivers And if you were given, we would like to have copies, photocopies, and then your letter of compliance to also show that you complied. Because after this period, we'll call the Federal Character Commission itself. Because they will issue the waivers and they will issue the compliance. So we'd like to know that. We've already answered when the last time you recruited, 2021, do you have any pattern, any way that you do your appraisals? To know, that's your employment plan. You just employ, because before now, we used to say that there were educationally disadvantaged states. But right now in Nigeria, we no longer have such. If you have anything, it's over education. So every state can provide the manpower you want. So you must have your employment plan. And then, so that I also like you to furnish us with that to show that before you employed the 2021, you actually looked at what was on ground. Because if you don't look at what was on ground, you will not make the necessary corrections. Then, have you had cause to entertain employee grievances? Those who are with you, have they ever complained? And if they did, what did they complain about to do with their jobs? What exactly was the complaint? What measures they've asked that? What measures do you have to remedy any gaps? How do you intend to? Don't forget that you're on note. So whatever you say here, we take it very seriously. And then finally, are you going to promise that before you employ again, whenever you are going to employ, that you will contact and talk and reason with this body whose duty it is to look at your employment plans? Thank you.
Do I have the floor now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, distinguished chairman. Thank you, distinguished senators, for your comments as well as questions. And I will just try to go through them one by one. I'm glad I got more comments than questions. I think the general theme is the inequality in representation. I have taken that on board, and we will see how we will try and balance that with merit. So you're right, I mean, the evidence is there. It's not evenly represented. I mean, employment in PenCom is not evenly represented across the geopolitical zones and even the states as well. So I take the feedback on that. We will work on that in our next recruitment, and we will try as much as possible to ensure that there is some equality in representation. We will take that comment on board. Because I'm talking in this light, I would like to answer another question that asks what exactly I intend to do to correct that. I think what we'll need to do is, we already sent you the report, is to look at the reports and look at states that are underrepresented here. And we have Rivers State, the German state, who is underrepresented compared to other states, and a bunch of others as well. So we'll just look at all those states and see how we can ensure that we hire the qualified people from those areas of the country to ensure we show up those numbers. So you have our commitment that we will try as much as possible to ensure that we have a semblance of equal representation across all zones and states as much as possible. I think there was a question for me in terms of my understanding of the federal character. This Okay. In terms of the role that you perform, what my understanding is, and I believe I briefly touched on that when I was making my introduction, and that's that to ensure, as the chairman put it, one Nigeria, to ensure fair representation across board in employment and appointments within the commission as it relates to PenCom. And distinguished senator from Plateau State also added that it's not only about employment alone, but in terms of even our zonal offices, representation in terms of the infrastructure distribution across zonal offices, that we need to make sure that that is also equitable as well. He asked for where the zonal offices are. We have zonal offices across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. We have in Kano, we have in Oka, we have in Gombe, we have in Ilorin, and we have in Calabar and Lagos. So it's spread across all geopolitical zones. So I want to assure you that I think we scored a pass mark on that one. There was emphasis on following the rules. Again, like I said, as much as possible, we will endeavor to follow the rules to ensure fair representation across board. I think I have taken all the questions so far. I will then move to the distinguished chairman's questions and comments. Some of them were requests. I also take the note of the need to ensure that going forward the right thing is done, and the fact that we haven't been ensuring fair representation in the past doesn't mean that that practice should continue. We should do what is right now and ensure good precedents. So I take that on board. Distinguished chairman was asking how many times we have been given waivers and letters of compliance. I presume that is from 2021. Yes, so we have all that record and information, and we will be passing that across. Okay. I understand that we have submitted that already to your office, all the letters of compliance and the federal character certificate that was issued to us for employment. So that has been submitted to your office. You also spoke about the employment plan. So what we normally do before we carry out any employment is to ensure that we look at the workforce across the institution and look at where the gaps are. So clearly, we would always have an employment plan before we go and employ, because we need to access what the needs are and where.
Chairman, be careful what you say.
Clearly wasn't talking about representation as such. You know, we said we'll take that on board now. So I was talking about other needs in terms of what informs our employment. But thank you for the clarification.
Are you a lawyer?
I am not a lawyer. That's true. I have 2 lawyers sitting beside me. I think they're advising me right. Sir, you said we should provide that plan. I mean, we would provide it to you, sir. And then you also asked if we've had any cause to entertain employee grievances. I think that's part of work everywhere. Employees always will have grievances, and we do have a process within PenCom on how we manage that. I believe you probably want us to share that with you. We've had some, and there's a process we'll follow, so we'll share that with you as well. And then you said that I should promise that when next we're hiring in PenCom, that we would contact this committee, right? Okay. I promise to contact this committee. I promise to contact this committee and I also would appreciate this committee's support at that time, because like I said, we would always balance merit and representation across all geopolitical zones. Thank you very much, sir.
I know the nature. Distinguished Chairman, distinguished colleagues.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and our guest. I am Amos Yohan. DG, I think it's DG.
Yes. Yeah, DG PenCom.
DG PenCom. My first observation is that whoever put these things together is not fair to the Senate. Because even with my glasses, I can hardly read anything. It's not fair. Is it you are trying to economize paper or whatever? Or you don't want us to know what you have written?
We apologize, sir.
Please, this is not fair at all.
I think it's the size of the A4 paper. We'll do better. We apologize.
And then, sorry, I apologize for coming in late. But maybe this issue have been raised. And I just want to lend my voice to it. That something must be done in PenCom seriously in balancing the staff quarters. Because this is one of the worst reports from any agency. You can see some geopolitical zones completely ignored in terms of the numbers that they have there. I know that my state has advantage, but it's not fair. We're talking about Nigeria. Even in the state, if you go to Adamawa now, maybe it's 1 or 2 local governments. So it's not fair. I come from Adamawa and I know what I'm talking about. Maybe there was an DG from Adamawa or somewhere, but something must be done, Madam DG, about this. And don't talk about geopolitical zones. No. It doesn't mean that if you take somebody from Adamawa, what happened to Taraba and Borno and Gombe and Bauchi? And even if it is Adamawa, what happened to the other 21 local governments if one local government has all the people? So, you know, you took over with all the wahala. So we are not talking to you, but it's your time to sit there and correct this anomaly. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Like when I spoke, I laid emphasis more on local government. I don't know whether I told you privately or here, okay, that a particular agency employed 1,000. And out of that 1,000, 200 south, 800 north. Out of the 800 north, 700 Kano, and the remaining 100 for the rest of the north. Out of the 700 for Kano, 650 or 70 were from one local government, Bichi local government. So now I was explaining to her, if you ordinarily you sit down, you will say the North took everything. Yes, but if you go down, not even Kano, just an LJ. So if you go down the whole thing, you will see that you are just accusing the North. What you are suffering, they are suffering too. So we will want you to lay a lot more emphasis, state, yes, local government, so that you get it. Like I brought out example from what you submitted. Delta, you have 15 in Delta. Out of that 15 Delta, 6 from one LGA, Ugeli, local government. If you remove 6 from 15, you have 11. You have 9. That means the remaining 20-something, the extra 20-something will now share 11. So definitely you have some that will go without anybody. If you go to Ebonyi, Ebonyi has 6. Out of that 6, 4 is from one LJ, Ivo local government. 4. So leaving 2 for the rest of Ebonyi. If you go to Edo, 12 in Edo, 5 from Isako, leaving the remaining 6 for the rest of Edo. And then if you go to Gombe, that is even very pathetic. Gombe 19. Out of the 19, 11 are from Gombe local government, leaving 8 for the rest of the state. So you see, we will be deliberate if we can emphasize still looking at them, because as you keep studying, you keep seeing things. But I want to say that you are not so bad. You are above average. And we appreciate the fact that you agree to improve and to keep in touch with us, especially your employment plan. Because if you come when you want to employ, of course we will know. But it will be proper for you to come. And when you come, in this committee, we have a lot of persons that can make things happen in this committee. The majority leader is a member, the minority leader is a member, the minority whip is a member, the majority whip is a member, my deputies and all of them. Look at the minority whip here. Even the majority council, they're all members here, so we can assist you. We know the problems you have. When you get to IPPIS, is it what it's called? Yes. Before they do anything, they want some cut. Please put this on. Do you want them to brief you first? Okay.
Talk to us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, distinguished chairman and distinguished senators. Thank you. We value the work you do in this committee in PenCom. I personally value the work that you do in terms of ensuring one Nigeria, as you put it, and in terms of ensuring that in hiring and appointments that the federal character is indeed reflected. So we very much appreciate your work, sir. So at PenCom, we try as much as possible to ensure that recruitments across demographics within the country is represented. And in addition to that, we also follow all the governance processes before we recruit into the commission, including approvals from the Federal Character Commission as well. So we ensure that we follow due process. In addition to that, in PenCom, we do have personnel, employee policies, and governance processes that governs hiring, performance management, and also promotions. I know that the chairman was saying when he was speaking that in cases where staff are not treated equally, where someone resumes or they start work together and you have situations where people rise faster than their colleagues even though they are on the same level. I'd like to assure you, sir, that in PenCom we do have a governance process that spells out the conditions you have to meet before you are promoted, and we have a performance management system where staff are evaluated. We work on the basis of fairness and equity in the way we deal with our staff, and we are blind to ethnicity or whatever biases that may be present and anywhere. So we try as much as possible to be fair, and we also try as much as we can to abide by all the rules and regulations that have been set for employment into the commission. On that note, sir, I would yield. Thank you.